Hi, Rev Tony Buglass, Methodist minister, thinking about Lent. Well, when I say thinking about it, first Sunday of Lent, Ash Wednesday was then. People are saying, what are you giving up? Chocolate? Alcohol? Look, sorry, Jesus wasn't thinking about giving up alcohol or chocolate or anything like that. I know we do that to sort of remember the fasting, the time in the desert and so on, but that wasn't what was going on then. I mean, it was really that he'd been baptized by John the Baptist, and this was the big public start of the ministry. Right. Now what? How do we go from here? So he took himself away from everybody else so he could think it through and work out where he was going next. And the important thing was to try to figure out a roadmap, if you like, for his ministry. We read the story in Matthew's gospel and in Luke's gospel about Satan giving him various options and saying, why don't we do this? Why don't you? You could do that. Yeah, that's the sort of finding a roadmap kind of strategy that Jesus had to work through. And when you're looking for a roadmap, the one thing you want to avoid is the dead endings. What he was being offered here were dead endings, what I call half gospels. Half gospels because they had something in them which was good, but on their own, no. So feed the hungry, turn stones into bread. Well, yeah, plenty hungry folk then, plenty hungry folk now. Jesus could have had a very fruitful life, a long life, creating food for people to eat. But that's not what he came for. If he had done that, it would have just been first aid, looking at some of the symptoms rather than actually the surgery that was needed to deal with the real problem. And then there's the spectacular. If Jesus had jumped off the top of the temple and been caught by angels, wow, folk would have been forced to accept he was the Son of God. Forced. Not the right way to do it. This is really about faith, love. We need to respond. He wants us to respond. That's where he's going. Making us respond, that's not the right way to do it. And then, of course, Satan said, look, top of a hill, you can see the whole world, just accept me as Lord of this lot and I'll give it to you. Well, leaving aside the fact it was based on a lie, it sort of misses the point. This is not about political rule over the whole world. It's about saving it. Right. So that's what Jesus was doing those 40 days and nights in the desert, figuring it out, working out where he was going to go next. And that's what we're trying to remember and emulate as we observe Lent. What are we doing with it? Are you fasting? Are you giving something up? If you're doing that, why? Is it just about giving up because it's what people do? Some people do. Think of it more in terms of I am going to run a race. I am going to be involved in something which is demanding. It's called discipleship. What don't I need? What's going to get in the way? So this is really about slimming down a bit and getting rid of the unnecessary baggage so that we're ready to run the race that is discipleship. But often it's not so much about giving something up, but about taking something up. We're doing extra Lent groups and Bible study and things like that, which is more a case of doing something extra to focus upon what Lent is about. In other words, this is saying, I'm preparing for discipleship. What tools do I need? What haven't I got that I could do with? More to the point, this 6 weeks is a journey from here to Easter. And at Easter, there will be the cross and the resurrection. So, what we're doing now is getting ready to observe the cross and the resurrection, to celebrate, to commemorate, and to take that on board as what does it mean to be the disciples of a crucified and risen Savior? That's what we'll be doing then. In the meantime, we have to be ready for that. And therefore, Lent for us is really that period of preparation. So when we get to Holy Week, when we get to Passion Sunday, Palm Sunday, the days leading into the cross itself, and then the resurrection, we are ready. We're ready to understand its significance, to celebrate and commemorate its significance, more to the point, to live its significance. Put it this way, imagine you're on a plane and you're traveling from wherever and you are now in sight of your destination. You're coming in from 10,000 feet, the runway is there, you are going to hit that runway. The approach is crucial. Getting the approach right means you land properly. I mean, you can make sure you hit the runway anyway, but a good approach, a smooth approach, getting everything right means you will hit the runway in exactly the right way, a better landing. So, what are you going to do with your 6 weeks of Lent? Is there going to be fasting? Is there going to be prayer? Is there going to be special services? Is there going to be special jobs in church, out of church, for church? See where God leads you. Have a good Lent.